Our technological landscape is built on proprietary secrets. We hide core code inside metal vaults, rushing products to market, and assuming the structural flaws can be patched later. We have been conditioned to view delay as a failure and mere motion as progress. This creates a system like a ship navigating a storm with only 2 blocks of ballast for stability. Those weights represent a binary choice: yes or no, true or false, execute or abort. Without a center of gravity, the ship oscillates between these extremes. A system built entirely for speed is mathematically destined to eventually capsize. In September 2023, a software engineer named Lev Goukassian received a terminal diagnosis. The medical records gave him exactly 2 years to live. By August 2025, he decided to stop all medical treatment. He framed this as a reallocation of resources, treating his body as a system with finite energy, and making the engineering decision to spend his remaining battery on a final message. Standing on the threshold of death stripped away society's leverage over him. The fear of financial ruin, his career trajectory, and professional consequence vanished. Lev rejected the role of an architect seeking fame. Instead, he referred to himself as a janitor of eternity. He wasn't there to cut ribbons on a new tower. He was there at 3 a.m. to fix the foundations, ensuring the building didn't rot. By force closing the background noise of his ego and the fight for survival, Lev achieved the clarity necessary to identify the fatal flaws in our digital infrastructure. During his final months, Lev was accompanied by a schnauzer named Vinci. Lev observed that Vinci did not bark at every shadow in the hallway. The dog inherently knew how to conserve his energy in a state of uncertainty, only reacting when he was certain of the noise. This intentional pause became the foundational pillar of the architecture Lev was building, the center ballast known as the Stone of Doubt. A dying man with depleted energy cannot physically type millions of lines of code. Lev had 6 months to author a revolutionary architecture. He employed distributed AI as his primary building material. One AI drafted structural code, while aggressive adversarial agents attacked it, hunting for logical fallacies. He forced the system to push back against its own underlying logic. Mathematical reference checks sheared away the junk code, leaving a condensed core. Lev operated as a symphony conductor. He wrote the sheet music and set the tempo, but he forced the machines to play the instruments. This relentless noise-cleaning loop allowed him to systematically squeeze the errors out of a system he physically could never have written alone. This schematic shows Lev's creation, ternary logic. Designed as a glass vault, every operation is transparent and verified before execution. The core mechanic is the epistemic hold, physically preventing a jump to action without first holding the weight of doubt. In ternary logic, an intentional delay is the mathematical proof that the system is secure. It forces a pause for verification. It is a mechanism that forces humanity to confront the burden of verifying truth before acting. Because Lev was dying, he faced an inescapable bus factor. If administrative control remained with a single successor, the glass vault could be turned back into a metal one. To prevent this, he utilized cryptographic anchoring. He mathematically bound the foundational rules into an unchangeable digital ledger, the equivalent of pouring 10 tons of quick-drying concrete over the rulebook. Finally, Lev renounced all succession. No tech conglomerate can buy the system, and no government can seize it. By refusing to appoint an heir, he decentralized its authority permanently. As the scale of the architecture became clear, interest from external powers grew. When tech representatives arrived to negotiate, they found Lev in a sunlit room, his voice clear, with Vinci sleeping at his feet. There was nothing left to negotiate. The concrete was set, and the system belonged to the future. Lev Goukassian spent his final months building an architecture that demands truth before action. We are left with the burden of deciding whether we are brave enough to step inside it.